Okay, are we back? We seem to be back. Okay, so the game crashed at the same time as OBS had an error, which makes me think that it was the game that's causing the problem. So the question is, what do people want me to do? Do we want to play something else? Do you want me to, like, keep persisting? At the very least, we've got a battle. So I will throw this down here and set this off. We can figure things out while this is happening. Wow. Okay, so whatever those guys are with the conical hats, they murdered us. Sam, you think play something else? Yeah, I might try Tiny Tina again next week if I can sort out these issues. I haven't had it be this problematic, but then again, as said, I haven't had Borderlands crash and then try to start it. Borderlands 3 crash and then try to start it up again. I'm thinking it might be a driver thing. I haven't updated those in a while because sometimes when there are... I have a troubled history of updating the graphics drivers and things going wrong. That's... yeah, it... I was hoping new game, therefore existing problems would not exist. But... okay, so the option that I was going to do before I found out that Tiny Tina was being released today is there was recently an update to Inscryption, and I haven't streamed that before, but it is on the list of things that people were interested in. Yeah, Flinky, that's what I'm thinking too. It does look really good, and I'm excited to try it out. But apparently not today. Okay. So, I need to change the game and the title. No, fuck it. No, I'll leave the the title as it is. Because that won't confuse anyone at all. Okay. And this just makes me want to get a new computer faster. And unfortunately, my desire to do something does not equate to, you know, reality changing. Which I've always thought is a problem with reality, but here we are. Hey, now. And OBS handles updating things a lot faster than Streamlabs does. Okay, so Inscryption. Inscryption is a game that I very much enjoyed when it came out. I was hesitant to do it on stream because it does have a horror theme, and not everyone who hangs out here likes horror. But you know, we got feedback since that people were not too put off by seeing it, and that it, you know, those people were not having like an issue with this game specifically. I have actually finished the game though, so I'm happy to talk about the actual game. But what I'm showing off today is Kaycee's mod, which is not actually a mod. It is a extra feature that has been added to the game, a free DLC, effectively, that takes a part of the original game and turns it into its own endless gameplay mode. Now, you will get a very strong sense of what Inscryption is by doing this, but there are aspects of the main game that don't happen in this specifically crafted section of the game. So, we're going to start out a new run. I have played through this once so far, as in I've done a couple of runs but only been successful once, which is why the challenge level is up to 2. When I started this, there were only these 4 icons available and the rest were locked. So, challenge level 1 required 5 challenge points. Challenge level 2 now requires 15 challenge points. I'm not really going to get into this right now because I think it's bombarding people with information. But the basic idea is that if you want to unlock more things, then you have to meet the amount of challenge points for the current level. And you do that by selecting these things that make the game harder. We're going to just go with 0 just to show you what the game is normally like. And it does warn you that if you don't meet the challenge level, then you are not going to unlock stuff, which is fine. It has a bit of a pause while it loads things. Probably yeah, there it is. Okay. Very hard to see on the stream, but there is a floppy disk there to show you that things are saved and loading. Your predecessor gave up too easily. Less pelts for you. Interesting. Okay, normally what happens is you start out with 2 pelts and you don't have the opossum. So, for anyone who has played like the recent style of deck building games, you're probably very familiar with this. It's very much like Slay the Spire or other things like that. This is the map. You progress up the map, making choices along the way as to which thing you want over what other thing. Unlike those games though, we also have items that are there for during the actual battles. So these three things, like the candles are there to indicate how many times you can fail. If all of your candles go out, you lose. The hook, the squirrel jar, and the pliers are items that you can use during battles. But the big difference is that I can do this. And you can get up and move around the room that you're in. And you've got things like this. Which seem a bit weird, but when you're starting out, you don't really know what anything does. And like, you can click on things and they do stuff. But none of this really makes a lot of sense. Gotta kind of work out a bunch of things. What this is, though, is a picture of the playmat. And basically what it's saying is that if we can get our side of the playmat to look like this, so if we can get a Rat King and a wolf, and have the Rat King on the first space and the wolf in the fourth space, something will happen. What that is, we don't know, but something will happen. So there's all these things that you can interact with, but you don't know what they do or why you can interact with them. Like, why can I bop these mushrooms all over the place? This book is super handy though. This book tells you about the various different symbols and what they mean. That's half hidden by my head, so not a fantastic example. But it tells you that that symbol, which is a wing with a shield, is Mighty Leap. A card bearing the sigil will block an opposing creature bearing the airborne sigil. Oh, the giveaway got cut. Wait. Oh, it went off. Okay. I'm glad that that giveaway actually went off. Sam, congratulations, you are a winner. I know that you know this, but still, congratulations. Now, the interesting thing here, one of the things to note, and like, is an indication of what sort of game this is like. There's a splotched symbol here with the numbers 273 next to it. And if we come over here, we've got a safe that has things that look like that symbol. So, if we put in 273, the safe opens and we find meat. Like a just juicy hunk of meat. Dancer, it's true, the bot does not crash, but usually if the giveaway ends when I'm having finished stream, the giveaway doesn't end. It just doesn't happen. So I'm glad that having come back online, it didn't invalidate it. Anyway, let's get into this. So, walking along the path, each step along the way, the different symbols mean different types of encounter. This first one is the trader. Have you brought me fine pelts? Hair pelts. So for the different types of pelt that you bring the trader, you get this layout of different creatures that you can add to your deck. Each pelt lets you get one creature. there's going to be a lot to explain, so I'm just going to do it as we go rather than try to explain everything all at once. But personally, I am fond of the cat, so I'm going to take the cat. And at least some of you are going to be upset what I do with the cat. You have my gratitude. Okay. So, the symbol on the right is to get a totem. A totem piece, specifically. Totems can be very powerful depending on how you built your deck, seeing as we don't really know how we're building our deck at this point. Not super great. One of the really powerful things that you can get in the base game is not available in this mod. Argus, thank you very much for the host. So one of the totems that you can get in the base game that doesn't appear to be in Kaycee's mod is the squirrel totem. Which means... Answer, also, thank you for the host. The squirrel totem means that the power of the totem applies to your squirrels. Which is pretty cool. I'll explain that soon. The totem has two parts, which is why I was saying you get a part of a totem. The first thing is what it affects, the second thing is what effect it gives. So you can give all sorts of powers to your squirrels. Fire Bubble, also, thank you for the host. As said, don't really know how we're building the deck, so I don't really know what sort of totem I want at the moment. So we are going to go to this spot instead, which is why I explained the other spot. We're not going there. This is a place where you sacrifice creatures. No, Dancer, the Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is still the game of the moment. We aren't playing it, but it is still the thing. So, this is basically taking abilities from one creature and by sacrificing them, give those abilities to another creature. So, the two creatures that I have at the moment that have abilities are the Bullfrog, which has that ability that we saw earlier that lets it block flying creatures. And our brand new cat, which has the many lives sigil. When a card bearing this sigil is sacrificed, it does not perish. So you can sacrifice it over and over and over again. If you sacrifice it here though, that's not how that works. So, I am going to apply this, funnily enough, to the Bullfrog. So now the Bullfrog has both of those abilities. Ooh, we've got someone who wants to make me famous. Okay, so we are finally at the actual meat and bones of the game, where you put your deck against an opponent. Now, to play the Bullfrog, which we have just upgraded, it has a cost of 1 blood. It's a 1 strength creature, 2 health, with the ability to block flyers, and when you sacrifice it, it doesn't die. So the only thing that I have here that does not have a cost there is the squirrel that I was talking about earlier, but squirrels don't actually have any attack value. They are harmless. So first of all, we play the squirrel. Now looking at our opponents, ringworms are basically like squirrels. The worker ant has an interesting thing. Worker ants have a power that is equal to the amount of ants that are on the board. Specifically their side, like whoever's side of the table they're on. So that will deal damage if it makes it here and like nothing stops it. So we kind of want something to be here. So I'm gonna now actually, you know what? I'm not gonna have that block there. Because the ant will hit the bullfrog. Great. But then we don't want the bullfrog to go away because it's giving us a benefit that's lasting. We've got it providing sacrifice. So in the meantime, we can't play anything else because we don't have enough bones. We've only got 1 bone from sacrificing the squirrel. We don't have 2 blood because we've only got 1 creature on the board. We can only sacrifice 1. So instead, we deal 1 damage, which gets added to the scales. And that's where this game's really interesting. Because life is not represented as just a number. It's weight versus counterweight. So I want to play this wolf, which means that I'm going to take another squirrel. Because I want to be able to sacrifice this. Put that there. Now, we have a skunk coming in, but the skunk also has no attack. Unfortunately, what it does have is the ability to reduce the attack of whoever's opposing it. So that means our bullfrog's going to do no damage. Which is not the worst thing in the world. Could be worse. So now to play the wolf, we select the wolf and say sacrifice the squirrel. And the bullfrog, but the bullfrog doesn't go anywhere. We played the wolf. The wolf has more attack than the worker ant has health, and therefore we'll kill it. And this is where the bullfrog really is paying off, because the stoat now we can sacrifice the bullfrog and play it straight away. Rather than having to choose whether we want to have a squirrel to be able to do things later. This is just keep sacrificing it, keep doing things. See, so what's happening here is the battle starts in the middle position, and 5 damage either way will cause someone to lose. But as I deal damage, it gets added to their side, weighing them down. As they deal damage to me, it gets added to my side, weighing me down, which is what I was saying. Balance and counterbalance. So taking damage is not necessarily the worst thing in this game, because if I deal 1 damage to him and he deals 1 damage to me, we're back to even. So no real downside there. As it stands though, I'm about to deal 4 damage to him. He's only got 1 hit left up here, so he's about to lose. Now, a very hard thing to see up here is the bowl that has, well, teeth in it. Teeth are the damage that you get to deal in the game. And if you do more damage than your opponent has health, like when you balance the scales all the way down on their side, anything that's extra gets added to this bowl and gets used as a type of currency. which is technically referred to as foils, but that's because of a weirdness in the game. Santa, thank you for reporting the bot. I'll be darned. You came across me early. Care for a game of chance? Pick a boulder and I'll break it. If it's a gold, it's yours. Does anyone have a preference? Left, middle, right? They're all the same to me. Middle? Ooh, Ant Queen. With the beehive, that's a weird one. Only bugs under that boulder. Range varmint. Done. You want it? So what this one has is, as I said, it has power equal to the amount of ants on the table. There will always be at least one. Unless something else affects it. But it's an ant spawner. When a card bearing the sigil is played, an ant is created in your hand. Okay. But it also has bees within. Once a card bearing the sigil is struck, a bee is created in your hand. A bee is defined as 1 power, 1 health, and airborne. So this is an interesting card because it gives me an extra ant, and when it gets damaged, it gives me bees. We might want to go an insect build for this. But that's a rat king, and that's a wolf. Now, if we look closely, the wolf has the beast symbol on it, but the rat king doesn't have any symbol, so it funnily enough, doesn't count as a beast. So a bit tricky there. Now, I don't think I have anything that can be applied with this. We could get a totem, or we can go here and get... So I know something that happens here, so I'm gonna go here and show you it. I won't allow you to take more items. In their stead, take this. Oh, you know what I can do? Because we're playing a less intensive game, I can actually have Dixper running with this. Just a second. While that's starting up. So, because we have too many things in our pack, instead of getting an item, we get a pack rat. A pack rat. Always useful. So, the pack rat has Trinket Barrel. When a... Dixper has just interrupted. So, just as an interruption, because it's interrupting me, Dixper has just added a new feature, which they're calling combo skills. Which is, you can use any 3 skills at the same time to create, like, if you added a sound effect and a visual effect, and like a jump scare that puts something like a visual effect on the screen and makes me sound different all at once. Now it doesn't seem to recognize Inscryption, so just telling it what the game is. It's not started just yet. Hey, Trinkebear, when a card bearing this sigil is played, you will receive a random item as long as your pack is not full. Normally I get this sort of stuff out of the way before the stream starts. There we go. The Dixper should be good to go in case people want to play cards. So yeah, playing this card gets us more items. What are we up against? A skink. Now, of course, the adder appeared where my stoat is, because the game isn't completely dumb. We're gonna get another item anyway, so I'm gonna take the squirrel and use this squirrel to play pack rat, then gave me an item. Handy. And we have the 2 bones needed to be able to play the opossum, so why not? And because the stoat had the skink had the special ability that instead of getting hit, it drops its tail and moves out of the way. The pack rat killed the tail, and the skink moved in the way of the adder. The adder would have killed the stoat because it's poisonous. Hey. We'll get to the battle just after this one's done. Do 3 damage, which is enough to win. Hey, there we go. Battle time. Hey, what have we got this time? 7 allies, dancer. It's... How do we end up with 7 allies when it's just you and me, dancer? Oh, right, you get 6 units. For some reason, I keep thinking you only get 5. And apparently I count as an ally of myself, I think, maybe. Well, good luck, dancer. Of course they walked the wrong way. And all the enemies are flying. That's why they went the wrong way. Because the only things that they can hit were the ones down below. Oh, when today is not going well. Yeah, Dancer. We are learning. Okay, so those things are flying. This one is, like, the sniper is not. The Cyberdoll sniper is a land-based unit, but it's the only one. So many things going wrong today. You know what, Dancer? I don't think that they can unless you're talking about a ranged unit. I don't know if a vampire can hit a flying rogue, for instance. Okay. So, choices here are I can go to the trapper and use the teeth that I've gotten to be able to buy health. We haven't got that many. I'm gonna go this way, which gives me a choice of a random card. Dan, so are you advertising the unit that you placed, or trying to get me to look at the thing that I answered? The epic. I would have pointed out the epic when we got to the battle. Okay, so none of these are the card that we're looking for. We're still looking for that Rat King. I don't know if we're gonna find it outside of a rare, but still. I'm gonna take the Bullfrog for an interesting thing that could come up. Like, it's not a bad card, it's not amazing. The warm light of a campfire is a welcome sight, though the 10 hungry eyes around it dampened the greeting. Warm a creature by the fire, enhance its power, one said. So the campfire enhances one of your creature, and you can tell whether it's going to be power or health based on the symbol here. Do I want to stack everything on the frog? Yeah, why not? Keep it right there, said one survivor. The creature could become more powerful. But the survivors looked hungrier by the second. So the first time that you put a creature in there, it's always going to be successful. If you leave it there longer, they might eat it. And since this is kind of an important creature, I'm not going to leave it there. As one of the survivors began pulling a knife from their pocket, he withdrew. Okay, what do we got this time? 2 kingfishers and a beehive. Okay. So, squirrel. Both the ant queen and the pack rat required 2 sacrifice. The womb. Possibly. But not specifically. So we'll see if that helps. Now, the kingfishers, as you just saw, have an interesting thing. Damn. The kingfishers, when it's not their owner's turn, they submerge. So you can't deal damage to them. I am probably going to lose this. Unless I start using items. Because those both fly. That's gonna hit my stoat. Deal 1 damage, so that's fine. I will have dealt 1 damage back. So I'll need 4 to lose. They will deal 2. So the thing about ants is that they all get stronger the more ants there are in the field. They all work together. And seeing as I can't hit anything on their side of the field, blocking 1 damage here and dealing 1 damage is basically the same thing as if I stack this, put in the workaround, it's dealing 2, but it also makes the ant queen stronger. So this will deal 4, which is much better for me. And because I've got the bones now from sacrificing things, I can also put in the opossum. So things are looking a lot better. Now, unfortunately, I placed things not great. So that bullfrog can't really stop one of the kingfishers. But we'll put it in anyway. Just for that little bit of extra damage. Okay, so on the left we've got... You get to pick the type of a card that you get. An item and a totem. Or here you get a random card and then have the ability to combine twice. I'm curious. I haven't actually tried to combine something when I haven't had anything to combine, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works. If I don't get anything that works here. Ooh, Corpse Maggots is a card that I like a lot. The inevitable maggot. They will lurch forth from your hand when your creatures are killed. A river otter and a pronghorn. This symbol, Corpse Eater, is fantastic. If a creature that you own perishes by combat, a card bearing this sigil in your hand is automatically played in its place. So you put it on something that's expensive, that you'd normally have a hard time getting into play, and then put something out just to die, or in case something that you already have gets killed, and it'll just jump straight onto the field. It's great. Ooh, but that pronghorn has some good things on it as well. I'm gonna, just for the sake of the thing that I'm trying, I'm gonna take the pronghorn. Which means that I'm not going to see how this experiment goes. So the pronghorn goes on this bullfrog. So that I have a bifurcated, moving bullfrog that itself has the ability to block flyers. And you'll notice that those aren't available for choices here. You can't sacrifice something that's already been sacrificed to. I'm gonna sacrifice the pack rat because it's an expensive thing. It's okay, but, you know, expensive. And put that on the stoat instead because the stoat is cheaper, which means we get items faster. We have more bots this evening. Interesting. Dancer, they're making you work out your eeping. Epee? Epee. So, for anyone who's new here and doesn't know what just happened, on boss fights you only ever get one chance. If you fail on a boss chance, you don't get to proceed. Your run is done. But as a consolation for putting out one of your candles, you get the smoke from that candle, which is actually a creature. Thank you, Dancer. You beheld an immense man slouched beside a mucky pond. He appeared to be tearing hunks of flesh from a fish corpse. Some chunks were thrown back to the pond, where a few ghoulish birds snapped them up. And some were sloppily pushed into the hulking man's mouth. You bring fish. Easy choice. Yeah, this is the fishman. It is one of the bosses. Now, this is not the bullfrog that I want, but it does have a kingfisher there, so we may as well... Oh no, important thing. Now that the bullfrog is bifurcated, it means that the attacks from it don't go ahead, they go to either side. And that symbol tells you which way it's gonna move. Ah, Dancer, you're doing fine. So by placing here, it means that it'll deal double the damage, where if I had placed it here, one of the hits is off the board, so it doesn't count. Ah, another important thing. The fisher tries to catch your creatures. So when that symbol is on the board, it means that that is the card that he's going to take. So it is good to take something that you don't want taken, like that you don't mind being in the way, and have him switch to the newest fish. Now, the best thing about that do I want to put in the wolf? No, I think I'll keep trying for the other units. The best thing about that is that now that my squirrel is there, it does no damage. Which means that it stopped the kingfisher from attacking. So strategic choices like that are things that, like, the balance of this game runs on. Now I can't pull the same move again because my bullfrog's in the way. But I'll just take up another slot. Yeah, unfortunately there goes my bullfrog. So we are actually going to have to keep playing other things. Do I have... What can I do that's going to deal, like, 1 damage? Yeah, that's what I was worried about. So whichever thing I put down last this turn, he's gonna steal. So I may as well take the 1 damage. 2 damage? 2 damage. And let him steal the squirrel instead of something that's important to me. And again, that puts the kingfisher out of play. The problem is if I play the stoat, then the stoat's the thing that I get an item for, and I've already got 3 items. So what I might do is pull his trick and hook his kingfisher, then play the stoat and get a new item. Now he wants to steal the kingfisher, and so we'll give him a squirrel instead. And now the interesting thing. So if anyone noticed, when things started, he got put down a skull on his side of the field with 2 candles, and they work like our candles. You've got to beat bosses more than once. Go fish. And now he's played bait buckets against each of my units. Now, the bait buckets don't look like much. They have no power, can't be sacrificed, only 1 health. There is a fairly significant problem with them, though. When you destroy the bait bucket, it chums the water, and he gets a great white, which does 4 damage. So, you do not want that happening. So I'm gonna put down my wolf, which won't last in this situation. But should be enough damage for us to win with the overkill. There we go. Your lives are restored. Perhaps one of these will entice you. So for beating a boss, you get a rare card. Damn it. I was hoping one of them would be the Rat King. I haven't played with the Deus before. When a card bearing this sigil is played, a chime is created in each empty adjacent space. A chime is defined as 0 power, 1 health. The amalgam is interesting because you can see it's got all of the type things on it. It counts as everything. So if you've got a totem, it pretty much applies to the amalgam. Cornelius coming in hot. Pegasus, welcome. How are you doing today? I think we're going to take another pack rat because items are awesome. Cornelius, thank you very much for the follow. You were playing Hades. Good choice. Nice game. How are you finding it? Where are you up to? And Quaggases, I am glad to hear that you are good. Oh yes, I know. Pine needles crunched beneath your feet. You drew in a breath of the fresh scented air. You were embraced by the woodland. I'm doing okay so far. Kitty Pal, welcome in. How are you doing today? You love my follow alert? Yeah, welcome to the Soulstorm. Okay. So I still can't see the symbol that I want to see. But we've only got one choice, so we only get to make one choice. The Trial of Wisdom. 3 drawn cards must have at least 3 sigils among them to pass. We have a lot of sigils, but they're on concentrated amounts of cards. The Trial of Bones. 3 drawn cards must cost at least 5 bones combined to pass. We've only got one creature that has a bone cost and it's not that high. The Trial of Health. 3 drawn cards must have at least 6 health combined to pass. That's a big ask as well. I'm gonna go with sigils. If we're lucky, we'll get this all in one card. Yeah, Kitty, you were saying last time. I'm glad to see you turn up though, because that means that, you know, things haven't gone horrifically wrong. Packrat, Bullfrog, yeah. Oh, look at. Okay, okay, all of them. You have passed. Look at all of these. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is a Sparrow, which is normally a 1/2 flying creature for 1 sacrifice, but it has Touch of Death. So anything it deals damage to just dies. Doesn't matter how much health it has. And if you sacrifice it, it counts for 3 sacrifice instead of 1. The Bullfrog has the thing that means it goes face down on my turn and reduces enemy damage by 1. Not great. The Field Mice are Borrower. So when an empty space would be struck, a card with this sigil will move to that space to receive the strike instead. And it's got the bees, so if it does get, like, when it gets hit, it will give us bees. But it's only got 2 health, which means that most things will kill it on the first hit, so you're only really expecting to get 1 bee out of it. Still better than nothing. But Fecundity. When a card bearing the sigil is played, a copy of it is created in your hand without the sigil. So we would get 2 of this Field Mice, so we would get more bees. I don't know, I think I want the Sparrow. Because more sacrifice means we can play bigger things. Kitty, I don't know what's going on Saturday or what your friend did. Okay, so this symbol means that you can sacrifice one of your creatures. Basically, if you want to get something out of your deck, you go here and you'll get a reward for sacrificing it. The bigger the sacrifice, the more you get out of it. Going for rare cards, so going that path would be good. I'm still full on items, so we'd probably get a 3rd pack rat by doing that. This is a fight that is a harder fight. It's a fight that has its own totem. Kitty, I'm guessing Yeah, the word missing there was friend. Trampoline park sounds like fun. New friends are good things. I'm hoping that that means everything's going to go well. Okay, before I make a choice, we have a battle. Okay, Dancer. Dancer in here with your shiny, shiny epic. The Apollo Archer. Since we're making a big deal of this, and most of those are airborne enemies anyway, I'm going to give you the high ground as well. Go get him, people. Much better. Dancer, you took out the top spot. I assisted, there were no epics. We finally got past the first level of the new map. And Dancer, you get some money. Kitty, that is amazing. That is a very generous friend. But that last bit's not true. Like, the receiving, like, there isn't really a deserving or not deserving when you're receiving gifts. That's up to someone else to decide whether you deserve them or not, because that's their choice to do things. It's a hard lesson. One that, you know, a lot of us struggle with. But I am glad that you have generous friends. But you don't have to turn their gift into your own criticism, if that makes sense. Hey, tier 3 gets a new badge and some rogues. Okay, wow, we are definitely on easy mode at the moment. And I approve. We should stay on easy mode forever and just win all the things. Kitty. That's a good thing? I mean... Okay, it sucks if that doesn't go the way that you want it to. But having a friend who is generous, who you like the qualities of, these are good things. They go well together. That's not those two things are not at odds. They're not bad. Okay, I'm gonna go this way because we'll get the 2 totems. Oh no, I need that card. I do get a random card. I'm gonna go this way. We'll see how it goes. Well, that's good. Continue to work on yourself. And you have a good goal. Graduation. Those are appropriate things. I am not seeing a downside here. The decrepit woodcarver appeared before you. She moved with a certain vigor in spite of her considerable age. Okay, so we've got serpents, which I think the bullfrogs are. Or we've got beasts, which I know the wolf is, but I don't think that we've got much by way of beasts other than that. Oh, you can check. I keep forgetting that this is a possibility. Okay, the serpent, beast, insect. We've already counted that. Birds. So, either way, not really looking all that good. But I'm kind of working on the bullfrogs here, so... Why can I see the log? Why is the... Oh! That shows me what I already have, and I have nothing. Take beasts. The grey-haired woman silently collected her carvings and left. Okay, what are we dealing with? A sparrow and a wolf cub. This is gonna be painful. If I'm gonna be getting an item soon anyway, let's do this. 1 squirrel. 2 squirrel. The stoat is not going to be strong enough to kill it. This turn, and it won't get hit. But the opossum has less life. The scissors are an interesting one. And now we have our sacrificial bullfrog. But nothing to sacrifice yet. Hey Dancer, you are a winner, congratulations. Oh, okay. So I'm going to win because he's only got 1 hit left. And the bullfrog's doing at least 2 damage. But the stoat's not going to do any damage. So I may as well sacrifice it to this. Get the bifurcated bullfrog that does damage on both sides and won't hit the wolf cub. And then we can have even more damage. Ooh, Dancer, that one's a risk. We are just under an hour till the next point. But it might happen. Darkwolf has been late recently. It's not a big deal. If it doesn't go off, it doesn't go off. It's, you know, it's free to enter anyway, so it's not like that people are losing out if it doesn't go off. Okay, so I still haven't seen the symbol that I'm looking for. And that's another tough fight that we avoided by going on this path. Oh, that magpie. Not the card I want. That magpie. I don't have a reason to use that magpie yet, so... The reckless wild bull. Anything in its path is flung over its ponderous skull. And still... not what I'm looking for. I don't think that we're gonna get that, that image done. Now the wild bull's interesting because it mixes up your play area. The moose buck is interesting because it also mixes up your play area. I'm not sure I want either of them though. Because that costs 3 sacrifice to get it in there.
Prime to your Twitter, oh viewers of plenty, oh viewers of plenty. Whoa.
Dancer, thank you for gifting a sub to Argus. Argus, enjoy the ad-free viewing, the emotes, and if you're on the Discord and like care about such things, the subscriber-only area. I really need to think of more things to do there. Pegasus, the Rat King is the card we need at the moment to be able to match the image that's on the wall. One sacrifice for a 4 blocker that you can then sacrifice later is not terrible, so I'll take that. Like, one of the things that you need to keep... Ah, there's the symbol I was looking for. One of the things that you need to keep in mind while you're doing this is that it's very easy to get into situations where you don't have the things that you want. And so having everything be like high cost or intricate or anything like that means that it'll be fine until it's not. And then when it's not, you'll lose. Okay, so do I want wolves to be blockers or to fly? I'm not actually all that fond of flying. It means that you're better able to deal damage, but you can't get enemies off the field, which bothers me, because usually they're killing your creatures and you dealing damage to the opponent doesn't work out so well. So let's have some blockers. So my beasts can now jump in the... can dive in the way of bullets. You hunched down to place her offering in your pack. When you looked up, the ancient woman had vanished. But yeah, just to show. So we need a rat king on the left and a wolf on the right to be able to match this. Actually, something I haven't checked. Oh, I'm in a battle now. I can't get up again. Just don't got that mole. Mole's not a bad play. Just to show you how it works. See, so it just dives in the way of things. So the problem here is that the stoat deals 1 damage. And if I put it in front of the porcupine has sharp quills. Which means that the 1 damage I hit the porcupine for also deals 1 damage to the stoat. Stoat only has 2 life when the porcupine hits it, the stoat dies. So I'd lose both creatures, and I wouldn't get rid of either of them. And I can just put the squirrel in front there, which would block the porcupine. Let's do that, and that gives me some bones to play with next time. Okay. So we need to use up one of the items just so that playing the stoat doesn't waste its ability. So for anyone who's squeamish, I'm giving you a heads up now. The thing I'm about to do is unpleasant. Okay? Unpleasantness about to happen. Okay. Oh, interesting. So this is a new item that's in Kaycee's mod. Magical Bleach. To the user, my cards on the board will lose all of their sigils. So if I used that, it meant that that wouldn't have thorns anymore. That wouldn't have the boulder symbol. I don't know if it affects this row, but the sparrow would lose its flight. Possum is a 1/1. Feels like kind of a waste putting it in front of the porcupine. I'm gonna hold on to it for now. Use it as a sacrifice later. Or that. The coyote will appear and I'll need something to be able to... See, so now I have a wolf that will dive in front of enemies, which is good and bad. My deadly sacrificable sparrow. So the problem is that I didn't realize this at the time. The poison means it isn't really going to work on this card because it's flying. So what I'll do is I'll put down my opossum, and then I'll sacrifice the opossum to play the sparrow, and then I'll sacrifice the sparrow to play the wolf. Because that was a whole thing. Oh, my bifurcated bullfrog. Excellent. So this is not a good play, but I don't really have much else. So it hits both sides and then moves. I'm gonna put the squirrel there just to stop the damage while we wait for things. And this is a problem now. I'm gonna take that. And we're gonna use this to say, you know what? Don't take a turn. I'm obliged to pass. The pack rat is not really gonna do it for me. No, we've lost. Unless I use all of my items, we've lost this one. So I have 2 hits left. If I do this... The important part is it didn't take off the flying. That's good to know. But it means I won't take the damage from hitting that. So if I put the squirrel there... Now we lose. Yeah, okay. Oh well. And this is what I mean. Having too many cards in your deck that don't work with each other, you just end up getting things that you don't want. So that wasn't even meant to be a hard battle. It just did not work the way that we wanted it to. The dauntless bloodhound. It leaps to oppose new creatures when they are played. Problem is it's expensive, 2 sack. Now this is the thing that I've been looking forward to. We need duplicates. 1 for each of us. So if you've got 2 of the same creature in your deck, you can use them here. You should... You don't want to see this. And there we go. This is now a stupid creature. It's a 1 sacrifice creature that has 3 damage and 4 health, that blocks flyers, hits twice, moves, and can be sacrificed without dying. The operation is complete. Okay, so same problem as before. We need to get rid of those two. So do I take 3 and then kill the coyote? Or do I deal 1 and lose the stoat? Whereas if I put the Ant Queen on now... it will kill that. I'll still take 1. But now, the worker ant and the ant queen will be worth 2 each. So I'm still not in an amazing position, but it's better than I would have been otherwise. Still tricky fights. Because if I put the stoat down here, it's going to eventually break that boulder and let out the other thing, which I don't want. So, 2 squirrels for the pack rat to kill the alpha. Now the bee's really cool. It's free, it's a 1/1 and it flies. But I can't take the... I can take the 3 hit. I don't want to take the 3 hit. Will only be a 2 hit by then. Okay, so B goes here because the boulder doesn't stop flyers. We'll hold off on the stoat for next turn. And there we go, I've got a full thing of items again. And we are in a much better position. My ridiculous bullfrog. Excellent. Just in time for us to win anyway. See if we can get the card we want. Hey, the magpie is more useful now because it will help us find the ridiculous bullfrog. But I kind of want to do that unlock, so I'm just going to keep looking for it. No, not there. I kind of need the cheap things. Okay, so this time they're saying it gives 2 health, whatever I'm putting down. Now, the Ant Queen's kind of nice, but not really my favorite thing. Because to play it effectively, you need to be able to sacrifice 3 things. You've got to sacrifice 2 things to this, and then the ant that it gives you requires a sacrifice as well. But if that had 5 health, that would be better. And each time it gets hit, we get a B. So the more health it has, the better off it is. Now, if I lose this card, it's not really going to cost me all that much, and that means I've got better deck economy. So, I'm going to push my luck. The survivors were right about the flames. They had enhanced the creature's health. Spotting a few of the survivors drooling, you made a hasty retreat with your Ant Queen. Now that Ant Queen has 7 health, I'm going to get more bees that are free things to play. Okay, this is going to be interesting, because this is another new thing with Kaycee's mod. This is a creature that you encounter in the main game, but in Kaycee's mod, this encounter means that you choose one of your creatures and they try to replicate them, but they get details wrong, and you're never sure what they're going to get wrong. So, basically, the more impressive a creature you give them, the more it can change. But it doesn't change the base card. It only changes, like, the picture. So the new card will be different, but in what ways? So I'm gonna give it the stupid bullfrog. Rawr. I'll give it a try. Okay. So the only thing that's changed is a slightly worse attack. That's amazing. Okay. Battle time. Before the boss fight. And I'm going to assume that it's going to be somewhere... Wait. Doesn't say it's a defensive area. I think somewhere here-ish by the time everything moves. Go get him, people. Excuse me? I don't know what's going on. On the plus side, if this comes down to time, we have more units. That's a defensive does not explain why our units have just stopped. that doesn't make any sense to me because normally there's nothing near enough to target, so you move closer. Like, it's not like they have like a targeting range. I don't know. I don't know. Yep, clearly it was Sam. Yeah, that was very odd. That did not seem like it should have worked the way that it did. Okay, token chest time. Wait a second, I am remembering things. Okay, so Cornelius did not answer how they were doing with Hades. Right, I just remembered that I asked and felt bad that I hadn't noticed their answer. Okay, so as a reminder, those are all flying, so if you want to put things over this side, they need to be ranged. Just as a thing, I will put ranged goes over there. You don't have to place ranged over there, but that's what that is. Probably went to sleep. Yeah, fair enough. Quest completed. I did a thing. We get even more chest. Okay, so this will probably be the last battle unless Darkwolf comes in here and lets me know that he's going to be late again. But I don't have any reason to believe that that will happen. Okay, this is another boss fight. We're at the end of the second area. Down the way of me go! Be darned! Squirrel, mole, river otter, and the stoat. What do we got? Oh, that's right, the coyote and the pack mule. I'm curious. Wait a sec. You may cut up one of your adversary's cards. It is destroyed. I'm curious if destroying the pack mule counts as defeating it. But like the conditions that the pack mule has. For now though, I'm just gonna do the mole. Because I don't want to take 2 damage. Okay, experiment time. You can't cut that. It's too thick. Well, fine. Now I can make him skip 2 turns. Amazing. Yep, and there's that wolf. Ah, he's got another wolf incoming. Bloodhound that jumps in the way. Well, there's no reason to not use items. Got that very good snippy noise. My sacrificial sparrow. Sure. Dag nabbit! What did I get? I got a cuckoo, which brood parasite. When a card bearing this sigil is played, an egg is created on the opposing side space. I don't know what the egg does. The wild bull, which moves everything, and the opossum, which is useful because I have a bunch of bones. But that's what I've been waiting for. Okay, so I need to do something that's going to do 2 damage this turn. So a squirrel and a possum to be able to get the bull. That's one way to go to bed, Sam. Have a good one. There's gold in them cards. Gold! I've struck gold! Now, the annoying thing that I need this, like one of these middle ones to go away. so that I can actually place the bullfrog properly. Otherwise, it's just going to be placed there and the wolf will kill it. Hey, that was a bad play on my part, but it worked out. Yeah. We should be fine. Just for the overkill. Oh, that saved my bullfrog. Excellent. Need a light? Perhaps one of these will entice you. Come on, Rat King. Damn. Gonna take the child because that is once again a useful thing to be able to sacrifice. The relief of the fresh air quickly gave way to a bone-shaking chill. You guessed at the path ahead. The snow increasingly obscured it. You had climbed the snow line. Okay, I wanted to check this because before those would have something to do with candles going out. They don't seem to be interactive. I'm not sure why. Those are expensive and not the things that I want. The conniving raven, a blight upon the skies. I mean, I'm gonna take the wolf because we've got the animal totem going. Wait, can I copy my bullfrog again? Can't allow this for much. Wait, no. Which one of it is it? I think it's him. I can't allow this for much longer. Please! Allow me another chance! Yep. The ray of the stupid bullfrog. Oh, not as much life this time, which is less good, but still, another stupid bullfrog. Oh, and I got both my chances back because I beat a boss. Nice. See? More stupid bullfrogs. Excellent. Okay, so this is the ridiculous thing. So if I put down the squirrel, I can play my bullfrog there. And then using that, I can put my other bullfrog there. And just for the hell of it, I can put down the river otter. And we win in one turn. I'm still looking for that card. The magpie would be really good, except it's expensive to get out. That infanticidal cuckoo. It chokes up the board with broken eggs of its victim. Interesting, so that's what that does. Oh, because an egg is going to be like a 0-something creature that this then flies over. That's why that's good. The undying cat. Sacrificing the poor beast does not kill it. Already got one of those. Like, I mean, an infinite sacrifice thing. So good. Now, I want to see if this will take the painting. Do you have... They are not victims. Yes. Look how dumb. I'm only disappointed that the painting didn't change any of the sigils, because if it had if that had been the thing that happened, they'd be able to combine onto this and be even more dumb. This procedure is grisly. Look away. There we go. 5/8 stupid bullfrog. What have we done? And I got an achievement for putting something through that's already been put through. It means I have one less stupid bullfrog now, but now I have like even better stupid bullfrog. Refined cooking mug, don't remember that being... Yeah, no? News to me, Dancer. But look how dumb this is now. It's a 5/8 that hits twice, so instantly 5 overkill. I don't want this one because the card I'm looking for doesn't have a type. If I get this, go this way, I get a random card, like what we've been doing anyway, but I'm not sure that's helpful, and then sacrifice something which gets things out of my deck, which would be good. This way I get to pick past, and it's a 2. So at least that might help, and then sacrifice something to combine it. Let's try this way. No, need 2. That's what we were hoping for. Beaver! Didn't want a beaver. Okay. Wanted a beaver another time. Okay, what can we... What can we get rid of? The pack rat is super useful but too expensive, so that's generally a good thing to sacrifice. Yeah, 2 for a 2/2 is just not really worth it. One's usually doable. So blocker that gives me an item is cheap. What are you doing for time? About 10 minutes. That's the less stupid bullfrog. Okay. We're still gonna win on the first turn because of this. But I'm gonna play this because it means I get an item. Do I want to get rid of something and get an even better wolf? I guess it's sort of. It's not endless like I think of endless. Okay, so I've only finished this Kaycee's mod once on challenge level 1. So I don't know if now that I'm on challenge level 2, if there's more actual map to it, or if you always just get to the 3rd boss and then like the final boss. I don't know if it's always the same length and you're just getting to do it again and again with harder difficulties, or if it gets longer as well. It's not what I would consider endless mode from what I have played of it so far. I think the wolf... Yeah, I've got 2 wolves, so I could combine those. That gets one of them out of my deck, which is as good as putting going to the fire. So let's try going here. Maybe I'll get lucky. It's called Kaycee's mod. It's not a mod in the sense that it's fan-made. It's it is an official free DLC add-on to the game. But it's called Kaycee's mod because it's changed how the game plays. The Trial of Health. Redrawn cards must have at least 6 health combined to pass. We've already done wisdom and bones. This one worked out really well last time, but I've got more cards now.
Toss a prime to your Twitcher, oh viewers of plenty, oh viewers of plenty, whoa.
Surprise motherflubber.
Darkwolf, thank you very much for the resub. How are you doing? Is this my cue that you're about to start? Motherflubber. I have a lot of symbols. I mean, it worked well for us last time. Yep, that's that. Oh.
God's damned dink licking, you humping, hammering, syphilis, son of sailors, snake, turtle humping.
Ladies, gentlemen, and envy friends, Darkwolf. Supposed to give you cues? No, you're not supposed to, but it's nice when it happens. Okay, so beaver that gets in the way and gives me a rabbit is turkey vulture that gives me an item and gets better a turn later is fairly strong, but still costs 8 bones. Cuckoo that costs 1 blocks up everything and jumps out when something dies so I don't have to pay for it is kind of amazing. Quackers, 8 bones isn't a lot in a longer match, but generally speaking, I would rather not get to the point where I have 8 bones. I want to have 1 already by then. 6 for wolf. Hey. So I could make my beasts fly. I could apply it to birds, I could apply it to insects. How many insects do I have? Like, none. I have 2 birds. I don't really want to make my beasts fly. So I think I'll just keep the one that I have. Which means I'll take this. So am I not saying anything that prompts the standardized format that you've got, or are you trying something new? Not so far. I'll see what I... Well, no, I'm not going to try to help you, but, you know, maybe it'll work out. The trapper stood before you. Out of habit, you reached for your collection of teeth. The man grimaced and shook his head. PvP Battle Royale. Oh, which one? An exquisite belt you shall make. Now, here's the nasty problem. Do not want to put my bullfrog out card being the sigil perishes, the creature opposing it perishes as well. Tell to screen. Okay, so I want my bullfrog, but not in front of one of them. And that's they're all there. How do I want to do this? There are knives floating in the background because this is the trapper who skins things as, you know, part of their job. Okay, so if I use one of the hourglasses, then we'll get through this without a problem. But first, we have a battle. Okay. Bad time slot for this, apparently. Just not many people doing stream raiders right now. Or, there's a lot of people stream raiding elsewhere. One of the two. Yeah, that is the plot line. So Dancer, what have you put over here? That is a bunch of ranged units. Let's give you the high ground. Okay. Go get him, people. I love that my heal is just like, screw that guy. And they've all stopped again. Why? Isn't it an ability of these? They can't be attacked unless they show their true forms. That's why. That's a really powerful ability to give those. We have been boned twice now because of that. Okay, so maybe on Sunday we will do better. Because this has not gone well at all. There we go. I was wondering if that would count. Okay. So if I squirrel, then bullfrog. And tell them to pass. Okay, let's see how this works. Yep, that dies. Yep. Okay. And now, if I have done this right, I hit there. Do 5 damage, it goes to the next phase. Excellent, okay. Let's trade. Now, the important thing is... if I clear this line... and those are fairly good choices anyway. If I clear this line... oh, that was a really bad choice on my part, but okay. I really should have paid attention to this. And let's do it this way. So the addict killed the bloodhound. That's a whole ton of damage. And the boss has been bitten. It's live, but your camera's playing silly buggers. Fantastic. Let me relight your candles. So we're trying to get through this quickly so that we can send everyone over to Dark Wolf. Perhaps one of these will entice you. Ooh, that geck. I'll take that geck. Offer you some teeth if you need them, because you've got them on your desk, but you don't seem to need it. Wow. Why have you got teeth on your desk, Cragasus? Okay, I need less cards, so we're going to go the sacrifice again. I haven't got many things to get rid of. Get rid of that beaver. What could I put it on though? Free card that does the same thing? Sure. Free card that places blockers. Why not? So your teeth, your whole first set, and four very pretty wisdom teeth? Okay. You just chose to keep them when they were done. This will be your final test. Another flame. Now, is it gonna hand it to me? Is, but that mole man's in the way. Oh. Squirrel. A bullfrog. That's right, my tanky ant queen. Why not? Let's just full stack the board. The low ones are almost fully grown. Don't you dare turn them all to gold. The moon-soaked forest bed gave rise to shadowy figures, gasping for night air after their long and torturous slumber. Ah, yes. I remember that one. He's gonna turn them all into gold. Jerk. But that is why I didn't put the wolf down. That is not useful right now. Because I can't destroy these, I can't get rid of them. Well, that was helpful. Ah, there we go. Fantastic. Now, if I put the Gek down, it's going to cause all sorts of problems. But I think I just have to take the hit to be able to get another squirrel. Oh, you know what? I can just say, don't take a turn. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna save the gag. This ought to work again. Oh yes. Still works just fine. Excellent, my stupid bullfrog. For when this gold nugget dies. Yep, that is the moon. The moon deals 1 damage to each spot each turn. Can block flyers because it's the moon. And small creatures get sucked into its orbit. Also, you can't just it's immune to poison and to stinky. They stopped you from just stinking it, which I am so disappointed by. It also has a lot of health. The amusing thing, though, is that you can still do this to it. You're not the first to triumph over the moon. But go on. Finish it. See? There you go. So, it's not actual endless. Bosses defeated, cards drawn, most scales damage in 1 turn. Squirrels harmed 48, sacrifices made 66, misplays 11. Quaggasus, we are going as well, but thank you for being here, has been fun times. And that is kind of Kaycee's mod. As said, it gets harder because you add more things that hinder you, but that's pretty much how Inscryption plays. Music, and I'll get out of that. And yeah, Dancel, thank you for being here as well. I'm glad that you had a good time. I will see what I can do about getting Borderlands running well for next week. As I said, I'm not sure what went wrong with it So it will take some troubleshooting and looking into things and all that kind of stuff, because I want to play the game. I also want to play it for all of you. But at the very least, I paid for the game. I want to play it. Hi, Bubble. You are still here. I'm glad that you had a good time. Thank you for sticking around. Okay, for now, I'm just going to send everyone over to Dark Wolf. We will be back in 2 days' time, roughly 2 hours and 20 minutes before now, where we're doing our playthrough day, playing Psychonauts. Psychonauts 2. Lots of fun. There we go. So yeah. Come back for playthrough day. It'll be fun times. Very much enjoying Psychonauts. It's very strange in ways that I enjoy. Okay, there we go. Raid has started. Dancer has put the raid messages in. I'm sure you're all familiar with how this works. And until I see you all next time, take care, stay safe, and have fun!